Happy International Women's Day. This week, we have celebrated women by sharing our experiences as leaders with you each day. This is the final video of our 5-part series. I hope you have enjoyed the inspiring and thought-provoking discussions these incredible women have shared. Today, we will leave you with some final words. This is a reminder for us all to take action to drive gender parity and inspire inclusion.
I think you and I could acknowledge that we've come a very long way in our 20-year careers. We have women with C-level positions. We have women as market leaders. That is a very different outcome than when we first started in this business. So it doesn't mean that we're at the final destination, but we have come a really long way, and we've seen great positive business results because of that change. But when I think about going forward, what does gender equality look like to me? I think about my stepdaughter, who I think you know, and I think about how she views gender, because I find it to be very inspiring how she looks at it. And she sometimes looks at me a little bit funny when I say I got a woman's award or that I was recognized as a top woman leader, because in her world, you would never think to identify your gender. You would just do it purely based on your merit and your contributions. And I really hope that as that generation enters the workforce, that we can all embrace that mindset, because I think that's how you can build a truly inclusive place.
Yeah, I am so hopeful that next generation, our kids are much more sort of gender blind and believe more in total meritocracy when it comes to achievement and leadership and positions of, leadership inside of organizations.
No, Ingrid, I think first I have to thank you. I think it's so important for us to reflect on what needs to happen to promote women and to promote people from diverse backgrounds. As leaders, being mindful, I think, is very, very important in whatever we do. Being mindful to make sure that we are creating an inclusive environment by whatever it is that we're trying to do. Being mindful in our hiring practices. I have a recent example where I had 10 openings in a particular area of my function. I personally took it upon myself, working with our recruitment team and my HR team, to look for candidates with diverse backgrounds. Again, this is in the spirit of inclusion and not exclusion, right? We're trying to include a wider range of candidates for jobs, and having that mindfulness when we do it. I ended up recruiting 8 of the 10 candidates were either female or people from a diverse background. So if we put our thought into it, and if we are mindful in our actions, we can create a world that has gender equity and that has, diversity, and we won't be talking about it. So thank you.
People that are in my role, by example, if I see that someone has an opportunity to elevate, then I'm recognizing that, because also too, my action is an example to others of what they can emulate. So promotion, mentorship, etc., that which I do, I promote. So it's important for me to undertake those activities so that other leaders will see the opportunities to promote as well. I think that's, it's a lot of soft skill in there, and it also takes very empathetic leadership. I mean, we are coming into an era where empathetic leaders really are going to be the future. And we need to ensure that, we are fostering that opportunity for the rising leaders, for us to hear what they have to say and for us to give them the opportunity to create action.
I would say many times individuals view some group as giving up something to include others, rather than the potential for collective growth and gender balance. And everyone has a responsibility to ensure inclusion, not just leadership. And it also means that individuals need to understand the barriers that cause gender inequality, such as lack of access to education, poverty, social norms, etc.
One of the things I was going to mention is you talked about lessons learned along the way. I think one of the tougher parts that I've seen and I've had to deal with, and I'm sure others have as well, is there is the emphasis on diversity and inclusion, which is fabulous, makes at times some white males that have worked in my organization, and I'm glad they've come to me and felt comfortable saying this, but they feel like somehow that eliminates, their power in some way. And I think addressing that is really key, because you need everybody to be involved in this. And so having a good conversation about, it doesn't mean you have less because of diversity, and just making sure they don't feel left out of the process, because I have seen that happen. So that's a sort of lesson learned, I think.
I think the only thing I'd say is that we can never stop trying to be better in this space, because the world is changing. The generations think differently that are coming into the workforce. So we can never think that we've got it right. I think it's just absolutely critical that we continue to listen, we continue to reach out, we continue to be accessible to our teams, to our peers, to our supply chain partners, that we're really working across and continuing to learn in this space, because it's not going to stop. It's going to continue to change. If we stop looking ahead, we're going to fall behind.
And that's been a reflection that I've sat in a while here over the last few months, and how humble I have become over the years in realizing that what a great opportunity I have had in my career as a woman in business, a woman in leadership, and the opportunity that I have now through doing engagements like this to give back, even if it is words of inspiration and just sharing my own story. So I just, I thank you for the opportunity, and it could not have come in a perfect place where I'm sitting in the place of reflection right now in my life and in my career.
I'm encouraged by how many women are in our industry now and in leadership positions. And I'm encouraged by the respect we have for one another and the friendship that a lot of us share. And I don't think it's hurt any of us in terms of our success, being good to one another.
I want to thank all of the amazing women leaders who have shared their thoughts with us this week. Bringing awareness to gender parity is not only about supporting women. Women bring unique perspectives to business and leadership that complement the approach of our male counterparts. In the realm of communication, women tend to emphasize collaboration, empathy, and relationship building. And this approach contributes to the team cohesion and sense of inclusion. And in terms of leadership, women leaders often exhibit a transformational style, which involves inspiring and motivating innovation and emphasizing personal growth. And I think the magic truly emerges in the combination of these diverse perspectives, right? And I have witnessed this time and time again. Diversity in leadership is what brings a richness of ideas and creativity and problem-solving skills that are crucial in navigating the complexities of the business landscape. And ultimately, recognizing and embracing the differences in how women and men approach business and leadership is key to creating a high-performing culture. International Women's Day is powered by the collective efforts of all of us, and collective action and shared ownership for driving gender parity is what makes International Women's Day impactful. And I want to leave you with a quote from Gloria Steinem, a world-renowned feminist, journalist, and activist, who once explained the story of women's struggle for equality belongs to no single feminist, nor to any one organization, but to the collective efforts of all who care about human rights. Let's make International Women's Day your day to do what you can truly do to make a positive difference for women and for the organizations that they belong to. Thank you again for listening in with us this week.